Hi everyone, this is Emanuele from Italy, but you know me better as Evil Dead Italia. Tonight we are going to have some very cool guests because Evil Dead the musical is coming even to Europe, in particular in Stockholm, Sweden. And so we have the opportunity to talk with the girl which are realizing this in Stockholm. So, without any further ado, I'm going to present you Linda, Hida, and Hatti. Hello,
Ciao.
Hiya.
Hi.
hello. How are you?
Good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Here in Genoa is very hot today. It's 25 degrees, so
Ooh.
it's very hot temperature here. I have to open the window maybe later
But you
to
have
avoid the melting.
water. You have so much water you can swim in.
Yeah. Real, for real. Yeah, but it's not so close, so I have to recover in some other way. So first of all, how I met Linda, talking with her on Instagram. You have to know that Linda is going to play Linda character in Evil Dead the musical. So it's a very cool thing for the fans to know.
Yeah. Do you
So
want to know something extra funny about that?
yeah,
Do you know how Linda gets turned into a zombie in the first film?
yes, the
You know,
pencil.
yes. You know who's going to get her ankle? I'm getting ankle surgery next week.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
great. So you are
So,
preparing, you are immersing yourself in the part, you know.
literally full on method acting. I'm like, Linda hurt her ankle. I'm hurting my ankle. Perfect.
And another trivia for the fans. I interviewed Betsy Baker, the original Linda from the
Yes.
first movie,
Oh.
some months ago, and we talking about her laughing because her laughing is very high
Yeah.
pitched, you know. And I asked her how she can reproduce it even today, and she told me she is a singer, is a teaching singer. Oh, sorry,
Ah.
she teach singing to the child, so
Aw.
she know how to sing. So it is pretty fun about this.
Yes. It's the Lindas.
Yeah, there are many Lindas in, in Evil Dead.
Yes.
So I'm going to present you one by one. Starting with Linda, Linda Ostrom from Stockholm. Yeah, right. You are from there.
Holmgren. Close,
Holmgren.
but it's good.
Okay.
I cannot pronounce the Italian name. So, yes, born and raised Stockholm, Sweden. Yes, child of the '80s and a huge horror fan.
And you are going to produce this musical, right? You are
Yes.
the person which started working on this. Can you talk something about how this was born, how these opportunities come out?
Yes. So yeah, this is all my fault. Everything that's happening right now. Uh, Actually, me and Hatti. I'm pointing at her right now. I don't know if she's actually where I see her. But me and Hatti, we actually did Bat Boy the musical
Mhm.
together many years ago. And as we had finished our last show of Bat Boy and we were standing there with blood and a cow's head and bats, I was like, oh my God, guys, we should do Evil Dead the musical next. Um, and then there was no rights to play it in Europe. So I have literally been waiting for, what is it now, 14, 10 years, something, for the rights to be released in like outside of North America and in Europe. And last summer, they released them and I went and grabbed them. And then I was talking to Ida and I was like, Ida, I have this crazy musical. I know you don't like horror movies, but hear me out. And I sent her the material and she joined us now and she's part of the whole splatter gore club
Yeah.
now. So, yeah.
That's great. So Linda, you are even a singer, right? You are
Yeah.
a singer, and you played a lot of musical around Europe, right?
Yes. Yes. I worked in Sweden and in England and a lot in Germany as well. So that's where I learned all my Italian in Germany. So good stuff.
Let's talk with Atti. I'm spelling it right, right?
Yeah,
It's Atti. Okay, okay.
Hatti, but
Atti, Atti, Atti. With not. Okay, okay. I
it's a
sorry.
tricky one.
Yeah.
No worries.
So
Yes.
talk a little bit about you, about your role in this initiative.
Yes, absolutely. I'm kind of like an assistant producer to this fabulous team, and how I joined it is I saw that Linda posted something exciting on her Instagram earlier this year. She posted like it was a black background with blood splatter and a text like "coming soon" or "are you prepared" or something. It was something like that, and I just since we did Back by the musical back in 2009, I just knew that Linda has something up her sleeve here, and whatever it is, it's something really nice that I want to join. So I wrote to, I think I commented on the post because we haven't met in so many years. And I just wrote to her, "Hi, I want to join this, whatever it is. Just let me know if you want somebody to help with the production or communication or something." And she quickly wrote back, "Yes, of course. Oh my God." And then I was on the boat.
Yes.
I just jumped aboard. And I am not a musical artist. I will not be on stage in this, which everybody should be grateful for. At least not singing. I could do a tree or something, but although I've been acting, but nowadays I'm a production manager and communications manager mainly. So that's what I contribute to the production with connections and a lot of text work writing. I try to support with that.
That's great.
So
It's a very important job in the making of a
Yes.
production like this one. And let's say, um, how much is complex to handle licensing stuff? I mean, it's different from other production you had in the past, or it's something to which you are used to, because every kind of let's say production of a musical have some kind of rights and licensing thing on it.
I think the big thing is that normally, like me and Ida, for example, we normally stand on stage and don't have to worry too much about that. So normally it's like, yeah, licensing, blah, blah. But it's a completely different ball game when you're sitting with the actual rights and you get all the rules and all, like, there are so many things that we constantly send stuff back and forth between each other, going like, do you think this is okay? Do you think we're doing something now? Or no, I'm going to email MTI that we bought the licensing from and just go like, hi, is this okay? Can we do this? And they always go like, yeah, you can do this and you cannot do that. So we're trying to stay on the right side of the law to not be sued anywhere from any. Oh, hey, Edwin.
Oh.
The cat.
Yes. So yeah. And I also think, like, compared to when we did Bat Boy, which again was a couple of years ago, it's so much more now with social media and everything just
yeah,
like, because in 2009 there were only so many ways you could share content, and now it's just constantly, it's a constant flow of everything, and so you have to be so careful with every post and every quote and every picture and everything, that we don't accidentally do something that someone is going to go like, hey, you don't know that material, or you use that material the wrong way, or So there's a lot of licensing things that are just more complicated nowadays.
Yeah, I feel you. I can relate with that. And last but not least, Ida, can you tell something about your career, your role in this production?
Absolutely. So yeah, Linda approached me. It's about a year ago now, I'd say, that you first approached me and pitched Evil Dead the musical to me. And like she said, like, I'm not a horror fan. Like, quite the opposite, actually, because I've always been terrified of horror movies. But I thought, okay, well, no, but I'll look into it. I'll have a little wee look at it, and it's hilarious. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. Yeah, so I've been on board on this train then for about a year now since we started, really. But what I mainly do is I'm a musical theatre performer like Linda, and I've had all of my career in Germany so far. So this will be the first time that I get to perform in Sweden, because I'll be on stage as well, is the plan, as Cheryl, the little sister.
Wow, very important role indeed.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, she's a fun one. I mean, I get to turn into a Deadite first. I mean, I'll claim that. And spend half of my show in the trapdoor and in the floor, on the ground, the basement.
Yeah, one of my favorite song, my sister was turned into a zombie, right, or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that that one is very fun. And so I have a first question about the musical itself. I mean, we have talked about rights and licensing and stuff like that. Does the license you are going to play it in English, so no
Yeah.
problem, because in Sweden English is well known. There are
Mhm.
other countries in Europe where English is less used, like in Italy, for example. But it's not a good thing. I mean, it's due to the instruction system and stuff like that. So, um, but do you know if there is any possibility to translate it from a licensing standpoint? I mean, you transpose in your language?
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose you will have to pass some kind of approval system.
Yeah. I think so. What you normally do is that you do a translation of it, and then you have to send the translation back to the licensing people, licensing people, and then they will like retranslate it to make sure that it works, and then you keep doing that back and forth a couple of times. However, I pretty much straight away took the decision that we should play it in English, because how do you translate groovy? Like
It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a
you
mess.
like, it sounds so stupid in Swedish, because Swedish is a very like, it's a very funny, like it's it's a fun language, and I think my friends in other countries makes fun of us. No,
Same.
but to say, yeah, to say stuff like, "Hail to the king, baby," or "Give me some sugar," it just doesn't work in Swedish. It does not work. And also, we would love to, because this is the first time it is being played in English in Europe.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we would love that if this goes well, we can take it to other countries as well. I mean, we would love to play it in Germany, for example, because I mean, Germans love Rocky Horror Show and Tanz der Vampire, and me and Ida did Bat Out of Hell. I mean, the Germans love
yeah,
blood and goth
yeah,
and
Yeah,
rock.
yeah, we
So
do.
yeah, they do. So I mean, my big hope is that it goes so well that we can maybe play it in England, or we can play it in Germany and even Italy.
yeah,
Take it
yeah.
on tour.
I wait for you. I wait for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
but
because. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, because also, like you said, and of course in Sweden, people are very good at speaking English. People think it's fun to speak English. They understand. We don't dub anything. Everyone looks at everything with subtitles. And also, I think that obviously like the age of our audience are our age, which means that they are good at speaking English. So not to say that not everyone can come and see the show, no matter what age, but we figure that most people know English well enough to understand what we're saying in the show. And also because obviously we do want a lot of the fans to come and see the show, like people who know Evil Dead. And I mean, I know I wouldn't want it translated. It would sound like,
No, yeah, like, and all those famous quotes, like, you want them in
yeah,
English, like, because
yeah,
all the fans will know them as well. They're like, we want it to be as accurate to the original movies as possible, because then we'll make the fans happy as well. I mean, it's a win-win situation, really.
Yeah, I fully agree. I mean, even if I watched the movie the first time in Italian because it was something like 10, as soon
nice.
I learned English, I would like to watch it in original language, and then this podcast made me talk more often English than Italian, almost in public. I mean, so I mean, it makes full sense. I mean, I even tried, to. I have the booklet with the whole text of the musical,
Nice.
and I tried to put on in Italian the word, but the very hard thing is maintaining the metrics,
Yep.
because you can
Yep.
translate literally everything, but then you have to make it work, and
Mm-hmm.
that part is a huge L. I mean, you need to be careful. You need to have some professional doing that
Yeah.
kind of work.
Yeah.
It's not a easy one.
No. And I have to ask you then, though, how would you say groovy in Italian?
Um, there is no word for that, but in the Italian dubbing for Evil Dead 2, Bruce Campbell, the dubbing of Bruce Campbell say something like "perfetto," that is perfect.
Okay, yeah,
So
perfecto.
probably they
That's
choose a word.
hilarious.
They choose a word that fit the lip
I used
sync.
the mouth.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It will fit
Forgot.
even in the scene, but it's not as groovy. In the other room there, I have a groovy button. Literally a button. You press it say groovy.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was
Nice.
Oh,
it
I
it's
was
love
a
that.
promotional thing from Ash vs Evil Dead. As a collector, I need to add one, and so
Epic.
Of
sometimes
course.
when I'm bored, yeah, I press the button and there is Bruce Campbell saying groovy.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
wonderful.
it's completely mad, but I'm a normal person, as you know. So
Oh, but
as you
I
can
can say
figure,
that I have a I have a Jack Skellington puppet in my apartment, and when you push the button on his costume, he says Eureka! Fantastic! Merry Christmas! Or so I totally understand you.
I
I
love
love
this kind
that.
of stuff. I love this kind of stuff. That's great. And talking about what Ida was saying, that she doesn't love horror. It's very common. Betsy Baker doesn't love horror. Teresa Tilly, that is Cherry in the first Evil Dead, doesn't love horror. Alyssa Sutherland, I interviewed her a few weeks ago. She is scared to the death from horror movies. She watched Hereditary. You know Hereditary, and
Yes.
she gets mad that she was frightened to the bone. So I mean,
So
it's very
cool.
common. So it's very
Yeah.
common. If you don't like horror, maybe you can be even more successful in the role because many of
Yeah,
the
yeah, maybe. I mean, also, like, to be fair, like, now I've actually watched the first movie now, and I don't find it scary. I watch it and I'm like, yeah, I can see that this was scary, like, when it came out 40 years ago or whenever it was. I can see that, but just like for now, it was fine for me watching it. I was like, okay, no, I can enjoy this. I think this is a fun movie, and I think also like I was prepared for what was going to happen anyways because I knew the musical by then as well. So no, but I appreciate the first film. I do. I've yet to get through the other ones, but I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, don't watch Evil Dead 2013 because it's the scariest one.
Yeah, no.
And it's not the musical, so you are safe. I mean,
yeah, no,
you
I'm
don't have to
staying
watch it.
away. I'm staying very far away from the newer ones, especially like Evil Dead Rise and stuff. Just you're never gonna catch me alive watching these because I will not be alive by the end of it, basically.
And except Aida that she's watching the movies now, and Linda that the franchise very well. Ati, have you ever seen the movies before?
Yes, I've seen 1, 2, and 3. I haven't seen the new ones. And my absolute favorite is the second one. I claim that Bruce Campbell should have won an Academy Award for his performance. I mean, the slapstick that he does is just so brilliant when he's fighting his own hand. That's my favorite scene. One of my favorite scenes of all time. When people will say they haven't seen it, I'm just like, you have to see Evil Dead 2. I love over the top performances, and that is just so wonderfully crazy.
Yeah, it's one of the most loved movies of the franchise. It's not the one I prefer because I prefer the darker ones, like the first. Even as Ida said, it doesn't keep the horror as the current days because it's funny to see nowadays. There are some effects that are more practical, so it's less scary than the new movies in which you can see every kind of gore and stuff like that. And talking about gore, have you already talked about the blood?
Yes.
Because it's going to be one of the massive parts of your production. I mean, will you have the splattered zone stuff like that?
Of course. I cannot believe I get to throw blood at people. It's amazing. Yay. No, of course, you cannot do Evil Dead and not have, like, there are some things you can compromise with, but I kept saying, like, one thing you cannot compromise with is ash. You need a good ash. And then it's the special effects. You need the chainsaw, you need the hand, you need the chopped off head, and you need fountains of blood. So we will have the first 3 rows will definitely be splatter zone. And those are the tickets that are selling the best. It's really cool. Those are the ones that keep like taken away. So it's people are excited as us.
You are going to have a coat, right, to enjoying this
Yes.
the show.
Yeah. We're thinking to have white t-shirts saying I got some Shelly on my shoe. From what the fuck was that?
That's great.
Yeah. But also, yes, raincoats, like rain ponchos, like cheap ones that people can just, but
blood ponchos.
Blood ponchos.
Yeah,
exactly. But I was like, is that fun though? Do you not want to get splattered? But no, we will have it if people want it. So if they want to protect themselves. But I've already told everyone, like, maybe not put on your most expensive dress for this. But we also have the guy who is in charge of everything special effects and splatter. He's this amazing guy. He has worked on a lot of horror films. He's a puppeteer. He is a special effects mastermind. And he worked on the movie On, which is this old Swedish oh geez, I haven't seen it. Viking movie? No, it's not a Viking. What is it?
No, I think the Templar.
Yes,
Knights.
Yeah, Knights movie, not Viking. But it has tons of blood in it, and he was one of the people who was working with the blood, and they had to have blood that was easy to wash off because they needed the clothes in the next scene and blah blah. So he is our blood master, and he will have blood that is possible to wash off.
That's very important because
Yeah.
usually blood used in production is
Yeah.
sticky, is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I
It's a whole thing.
participated. I participated in an indie movie this summer. No, this fall,
Oh, that's
and I
cool.
have my part was uninfected people, so you can see me for some second. But the other part, the main part, was hanging my hand down of a car. You can see just my hand is full of blood, fake blood. I had the hand red for 3 or 4 days, even washing it all the
Oh,
time.
bless you.
So yeah, washable
Yeah.
blood is very important for a
Yeah.
production like this, because I suppose that if you cannot wash the blood, many people will complain about it.
Yeah.
It should be
And
a
also
mess.
and also for our costumes, because I mean, obviously, it would be annoying to get a new costume for each show. No, I think
Yeah.
it's a whole thing, because it has to be able to wash off, but then it cannot be toxic, and then it has to be able to be in a certain thickness, because you need the blood that you can splatter on people, and then you need the blood that just stays. You need, so there is so much with the blood. I think when we bought the rights and we got the script, it was like the first 4 pages was just like blood, like information of blood, tips about how you can just do the best blood, how it should not be sticky, and how it should. It's a whole thing. So we're extremely grateful we have Oscar, who is our mastermind on everything gore, to sort that out for us. 'Cause we had blood in Bat Boy as well, and we had this blood expert who came in from the Gothenburg Opera and literally just made the blood for us. But compared to Evil Dead, that was nothing. Now we're counting on buckets and buckets of blood.
Yeah. Yeah, the quote that we love using for Evil Dead is, "There is no such thing as too much blood."
Mhm.
Yeah, blood and other fluids usual, but in this case, just blood. And
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna let my cat locked himself in. I'll be right back.
Ollie!
That cat is hilarious.
I love cats. I have three. No, I have four. Sorry.
Yeah.
The fourth arrived the last summer, so I didn't. I always forgot to have four and not three. So
Oh, is Edwin okay?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. He was just he closed the door, and then he's inside the bedroom and scratching the door and, and
it's a
meowing.
classic. It's a classic thing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Oh.
and there he is.
There he is.
He's the
The
coolest
real
guy.
star of the show.
Yes.
He just wants all attention. He's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Of
it's
course.
Italy. Wow, I'm gonna gonna use this moment.
Of course. Get famous internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We love animals. The last live we had the Alisa Sutherland dogs, Alfie. It was
Oh.
so there were a sound from the outside, so it was a little bit scared, and so it was needed a little bit of
Oh.
cuteness.
Oh, bless.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to show you, not you already know it. I'm going to show you the audience the website of Evil Dead the musical, the Sweden edition, so you can find it. I'm going to post even on the the social network is evildead.sa, right?
See.
Right. Yeah.
See.
I always did the wrong pronunciation for vocals. Okay, website. I'm sharing in the comment section. But now I'm going to share it on screen. Okay, it's arriving in a few moments. Here it is. Can you see it? Okay, here it is. So, first of all, when the first show is going to be?
4th of October is the Scandinavian premiere.
Okay. And so it's a premiere. So you cannot get the ticket for that, or?
No,
Okay.
so the first like official show is on the
Okay.
5th. Yeah, October
Okay.
5th.
Okay. So you can find here the tickets
Yes.
in Norrborg. Where is Norrborg? Is it Stockholm or close to Stockholm?
It's in the south of Stockholm because we had to find a place that could take a lot of blood. So we were kind of looking for a venue that wasn't, covered with carpets or cool, like, these beautiful old antique chairs. And then I went to this place called Subtopia, which is like this amazing cultural hub. And it turns out that they have people working there who was in the Swedish movie Evil Ed.
Okay.
And they went, oh my God. And I just went, this is perfect. This is just perfect. They were so excited about Evil Dead. And I'm so excited because I've seen Evil Ed many times. So we were like, this is a match made in heaven. So it's south in Stockholm. You can still take the subway the whole way. And it's in Subtopia. And it's just just a cool area. They have like circus next door, Cirkus Cirkör, which is a very like modern circus cool place, and it's a cool place. And it takes about 30 minutes, I think, from the central station, from door to door. Like if you go to the central station in Stockholm, it's about 30 minutes with the subway, and then you're there.
Okay, that's great. So it's very close. I mean, so someone can join from other country without needing a car or stuff like that. You arrive in Stockholm and
you fly to Arlanda airport.
Yeah.
And from there you can take the train. So no, it's easy. And obviously, like I also think that just being close to the subway is just good, because obviously the show finishes at 9:45, I think it's going to be ish. And then people can still just go to the subway and go home. So you don't have to think at all about, trying to rent a car in Sweden or learn how to drive.
I am figuring people coming back from your show in subway completely covered in blood.
Yeah, we hope so. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And you are even funding. You have opened a fundraiser. Can you explain something more about this before showing the page?
Yeah, absolutely. We started a GoFundMe page, which is basically so that we can present Oscar, the Bloodmaster, the set builder, everything cool, basically, so that he can have as much money as possible to make it as epic as possible. So yeah, every little coin would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I'm going to share the GoFundMe link on in the chat, and then show even the site.
Yay. So the thing is, because I'm also going to mention that obviously, because we are completely newly started production company, so obviously we don't have the same kind of money or that normal big production companies have, because we pretty much we've always wanted to start a production company because we have so many good ideas about cool shows we want to do, but this is kind of like our kickoff pilot project. This is our first premiere project in this constellation of this production company. So we don't come from having a lot of other shows before and loads of money. So pretty much everything, when people buy tickets, they go straight into the production and try to make it as good as possible. So we do have to rely a bit on, people just wanting to support us in this crazy idea. And we figure that if we do a GoFundMe, then people can really, help us and feel like they are a part of it. And because especially we want to spend as much money as possible on the cool stuff, which is the special effects, the chopped off head, the zombie makeup, and all the you see the Kandarian dagger and the chainsaw. So because this is where all the money is going to go. So we're just hoping people can, every little cent matters and can help us to make this as groovy as possible.
Yeah, it is in Swedish.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, it's Swedish kronor. Yeah.
Swedish
The text
crown.
is in English, but it's in svenska kronor.
I have to understand. Then I'm going to understand the change because I cannot understand the day. What is the KR stand for?
Kronor.
Crowns.
Crown. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have euro.
Right, because
Yeah.
right. You can. I can study. I should have studied here. Your bio.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit about us, but it's mainly about what we need the money for, which is the fun stuff.
And also we might mention as well that anyone who does donate to the GoFundMe page, if you donate under your name will be printed in the programs that we will be selling for the during the show, basically.
Oh,
so you'll have a special thank you page for all of those lovely patrons of ours.
Okay, that's great. In particular, talking about merchandise, then there is Alex Adengar. He is from Denmark.
Oh.
He is asking if you will be selling any specific merchandise at the show.
We're like, yes.
You want to say one?
No, definitely. I mean, I think we all definitely want to. I think we haven't really gotten up to that point yet, but we are definitely talking, groovy t-shirts and some cool stuff. But I think we're so still kind of early in the process, but we will be selling merchandise. You can actually, Alex, if you want to, you can send us a message on Instagram at Evil Dead Sweden. I should know this by heart.
Yes.
Thank you, Ida. Yeah. And just say like what you actually would like to have, because we have some t-shirts in mind and some cool stuff, but it would be great to actually know what people would want, obviously, rather than us just going, maybe they want to have this, and then people go, no, that's super lame, that's not good at all.
I mean, to be honest, I think that anything that you would love, Linda, the Evil Dead fans would love as well, because everything you've presented so far to us, like in the, like the idea process, have been amazing, and I'm just like, yeah, they're gonna love that. So
Hopefully. Yeah.
But yeah,
crazy minds think alike. So yeah, but definitely we will be selling merchandise.
So, what is the current stage? You are searching for candidates for the musical. You have already filled some roles. Some roles are filled, right? Linda and Ida, for example.
Yes.
But any other role filled or?
All of them.
Yes.
All of them. Wow.
Yeah.
You already found your Ash, so.
Yes.
We have an amazing Ash.
And does that works? You are one actor for any single part, or you have a double for any kind of? Okay. There is no substitute. Okay.
We will have that. We will definitely have a female and one male swing, as we call it, who are going to be able to jump in case something I'm just saying, in case someone has to do something else or something. I'm not going to say in case something happens, knock on wood. But you know, anything can happen. You can, you know, fall down the stairs and rip your foot off. Not going to do that. So yeah.
No, you're not going to do that.
No, I'm not. But we will have one female and one male swing who will be ready to jump in.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And
So
talking about the musical, can you I haven't rewatched it. I mean, I never watched it because I watched it something on YouTube somewhere, you know, because there is no official DVD of the show, sadly. So if you cannot go to the States until now, you cannot watch the musical. So your initiative obviously is a great one for people living in Europe. Sadly, I cannot be there in October, but I would love to be there. So I keep watching you, and as soon you do another time, I surely I'm going to join.
definitely,
Eh,
we have a seat reserved for you in the splatter zone.
Thank you, thank you.
Of course.
And I lost. I sidetracked myself. I would like to say, yeah, okay, the musical. Um, can you explain a little bit of the plot and how it works for you, for the people that are watching this podcast, and a short, you know, a short recap of the musical itself and its peculiarity and what make it differ from other musical, for example.
Who want to take it? Should I go?
No, you go.
Go.
Okay. The movie is the musical is mainly based on the first and the second movie, and they have like the main characters from those movies, which is Ash and Scott, Linda and Cheryl. But Linda is a mix of Linda in the first film and the second film, so she's both the ankle Linda and the head Linda. So I get all the fun stuff. And then we have Jake and Annie, of course. And we also have a fake Shemp, because you must have that when you do Evil Dead, obviously. So that is really cool. We also have Ed. Obviously, he turns into Evil Ed. Did I forget someone? No, that's all.
Shelley.
Shelley. God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, she gets killed so fast. So we have an actress who plays Shelley and Annie, because Shelley dies so that she can come as Annie, which is really cool. But so it's mainly, I know they had some parts from the third movie as well in the beginning of the musical's history. But it was a bit messy with the, you know, the whole medieval times and everything. So now they kind of just mention it in the end. But it's the typical horror movie, you know, a couple of college kids goes into a cabin in the woods and accidentally reads a book, and then everything happens and they have to save the world. Classic Spring Break. But it's done in singing and dancing.
Which makes it even more hilarious
It makes
somehow.
it amazing. Yeah, it's so absurd, but it's also in the style, because obviously when you watch Evil Dead, especially the third movie, it's just a full-on comedy. It's slapstick, Three Stooges. So in a weird way, I think musical is the most. It makes so much sense to make a musical out of it with stupid jokes, and I think that, of course, if you do know the films, you will love the musical because you understand the sense of humor, you know all the references. But I also think that, I mean, Ida had never seen the movies when she saw the musical, and she loved the musical, and that made her watch the movies. So I do think that even if you don't actually know the movies, you can still really enjoy the musical, because it's a fun show. Like it is fun. It was really successful off Broadway, and it's played all over the world for years and years and years. So you don't have to be a horror fan to enjoy it.
Yeah,
Evidently not.
No, exactly. And Ida is living proof of it.
Yeah.
So I think I think as long as you like fun, as long as you think it's cool with comedy and crazy jokes and zombies, you will love the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I fully agree.
I think it's also very nice the fact that it also makes fun of the musical genre
Yeah.
of a musical theater. So like the line from it's from Necronomicon, right?
Yeah.
So with the it's the time, it's like the time warp, only better, and
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
are many references. And I think when I listened through the songs, there were many of them that reminded of something else, and there's a charm, a lot of charm to it,
Yeah.
also among it all. So I think that yeah, like Linda points out, I think you will really enjoy it because it's such a different. It will be such a different experience, just the performing arts experience
Yeah.
above something else. So I think it will yeah, it will appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely something that Sweden has never really seen before, ever, I think. Um,
Definitely.
definitely. Definitely.
Definitely.
But it's really cool because also if you do know your musical, you will go like, oh wait, this is they're poking fun at Chicago, they're poking fun at Hairspray, it's a lot bit of Grease, it's a lot of Rocky Horror Show. So obviously like they knew when they wrote the musical, they knew their musical theater and they kind of go, which I love as well because musical parody is fun.
Yeah.
so now a question for the ones that already know the musical, so they can understand what we are talking about. What are your favorite song of the musical, the one you wait more to sing in public? And if you have considered if makeup and blood can make your performance more difficult than in other cases.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Very good question. Well, to begin with, my favorite song, I know that one. I love What the Fuck Was That? Because literally, like, the first time because I watched it on YouTube, and the first time I saw it, they just, like shot Shelley, and she's out the door, just like bang, and then straight to the front. What the fuck was that? And it made me laugh. I find it so funny, and it's still like, yeah, it's the one I quote the most just in my everyday life because, musical theatre performer, I always sing. I'm never quiet. So yeah, that's my favorite one, definitely.
That's actually
And
the one that got me into Evil Dead as well. Actually, that was the first song I ever heard. I was like, "What is this? Or what the fuck is this?" Yeah.
and for you, Linda, even for you, so the same song or
No, it's I mean that was a song who got me hooked. My sister still knows every lyric in that song. She goes, "This is my favorite song ever." I have to say though, I'm a big sucker for It's Time. I think It's Time is a really, really, really good song. It also has the coolest number because it has the whole zombie fight. But I don't know. It's one of my favorite songs. Absolutely.
it have even a lot of choreography, right? If I'm not wrong.
Is a huge fight. Is literally the epic chainsaw happening.
Yeah. So all the blood goes there, right?
That's one of the yes. So I think it's mainly I think it's a really really good song. I think it just starts off as this like epic musical moment for Ash, and then it just turns into this incredible number with all the zombies, all the zombie deadites, and that's where all the fun happens. So it's a mix of an epic number and an epic song. Love it.
Lovely. Yeah, 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 absolutely. And even if you don't sing at your favorite piece of from the musical.
Yeah. I think that I think it will change during the process. That often happens, but right now the one that is most stuck in my head, that is played on repeat, that is "Do the Necronomicon," because it's very catchy. And first, I also noticed it has some resemblance with "Do the Locomotion" as well. So I just, because I listened to it instead of watching it, so when I listened to it, I just saw before my eyes some kind of really weird, cheesy dance to it. So I that one has just, it goes on repeat sometimes when I just walk or do something. Sometimes I just hear "Do the Necronomicon." So it's just, yeah. So that's the one for the moment. But I think that also when the rehearsal starts, and yeah, it will shift. But that's the starting point.
I love it. I think this is, sorry, I'm just cutting in because I have so much to say. I'm so passionate. No, but I think this is the thing also with Evil Dead the musicals. This is so easy to just think it's like a fun, like, oh, it's fun. They're making fun of the horror films, blah, blah, blah. And then, because there are so many musicals out there that are parodies or are jukebox musicals or something where it's like, but this, the more I listen to it, the more I go like, damn, the music is so good. Like the songs are good. It's very easy to just go like, oh yeah, it's Evil Dead the musical and they're making fun of the movies, blah blah. But when you really start listening to the music, it is really, really good. And like you say, they're catchy songs. I have been singing "Do the Necronomicon" for months, so it does get stuck.
Yeah, and as a Evil Dead franchise fan, I can say the music, the songs, the song text is the lyrics are very close to the message of the movie. You know,
Yeah.
the cabin in the wood,
Yeah.
the smart employee song.
Yes.
I love that one. The romantic part, you know,
Yes.
and I really love. I mean, it's a very cool musical. The text is very close to the the movies. So there is not there are not words put there. There is a meaning. I mean,
Yeah. No, you can tell that like they are a huge fan of the movie. Like George Reinblatt, it is a tribute to the franchise. It's not just people going like, haha. They really, it's a huge tribute, and I think they have really taken care of the, making the original material into the musical, because it is making fun of it, but the movies already make fun of themselves. So I think they kind of just kept that kind of humor in the musical as well. And I think, for example, Ida as Cheryl, you sing lines that are exactly as they are in the first movie. Like the whole, I'll swallow your soul, and one by one, we'll get you.
Look who's evil now.
No, yeah.
Why have you disturbed our sleep, awakened us from our ancient slumber?
Yeah. So you can tell that George knew the movie so well and really made a tribute to it, which I loved.
Yeah, it's really well written.
And have you ever seen another version of the musical live? No.
No, unfortunately not.
And have you? I mean, producing it, having the rights, have you access to some performance as a guideline for the whole thing?
I mean, not really, because there is no such thing really as a replica version of Evil Dead. So basically, we've got pretty much like free hands really with what you want to do with it. Obviously, we have to stay true, like to do exactly what it says in the script. We can't change anything, and it's the same with the lyrics. We can't change the lyrics of the songs and stuff, but direction wise and like set pieces and everything, we're allowed to do our own spin on it, which is exciting, because we get to do our own thing and put our own like fantasy and imagination into it, which is really exciting.
Oh, that's really cool. I mean, you have some freedom in the making, so
Yeah, absolutely.
that's great. That's great. And another question. Sorry, I got. Um, how long is the musical? I mean, what is the duration, circa? I mean, not the.
We think like roughly like 2.5 hours, two
Mhm.
fifteen, 2.5, something like that, with an interval of like 20 minutes included.
Okay, okay. And uh, at the moment, what was, except obviously getting the license, what was the most challenging aspect of putting everything in work?
I think for me to dare to do it. Maybe that's a boring answer because it's very abstract, but honestly, it's for me because obviously I have been dreaming about this for 14 years, something. But I also knew that it was going to be such a big thing to do because for me, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it properly. Like I want to do it in the absolute best way possible. So I just knew like the moment we decided, okay, we're going to do this, it was kind of scary because you
Still
know when you
is.
come, yeah, it still is terrifying. It's really scary than than any scarier than any horror movie. But you know, because it is a big thing to do, and especially when you're not an established production company, it's our first thing we're doing together. And for me, just to go like the, oh, we're doing it, okay, because we had the licensing, and obviously MTI was the same licensing that we got Bat Boy from, so they know me from before. But you know, it's still the whole thing going like the point of no return, signing those papers as a producer, which is really cool. But going like, okay, we have to do this now. It has to work. We can't. We have to do it, which is scary. So I think that was the hardest thing with getting the license. But MTI are so excited.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, they're doing Evil Dead. They're super excited. And they're going to come and watch the show in Stockholm. And they're
Yeah,
just happy.
it's great. And as anyone can see from this live, Linda at the end, yeah, Ida are very passionate about this project. And in my opinion, this is a very, very important component in the
Yeah.
possible success of this production, because more passionate are the people working on it, more they can transmit, feelings and emotion. So I uh, hope you will reach your objectives,
Thank
and
you.
and I'm pretty sure you will. I mean, because it's
We
a
think so
great
too.
it's a great thing for Europe. I mean, it's the first time. To be clear, if I'm not wrong, there was one in Madrid
Yeah.
years ago, but it was in Spanish.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They played it in Madrid for a couple of weeks in 2013,
Yeah.
12, 13,
Something
in
like that.
Spanish. So it is the Scandinavian premiere, but it's the first time in English European premiere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's the first time we're playing it in English in Europe.
Yeah.
It has been played once before in Spanish, but it's the first time in English. So yeah, we're not the first ones in Europe, but the first ones in English in Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great. It's full great. So we are going to close the live. Please don't leave even when I close. I would like to salute you. But I wish your best for the wish you the best for this production, and I hope you will reach your objectives. And thank you for being with me this evening. In case you will have other thing to share later or before close to the release, uh, I will be very happy to have you as a guest again.
Oh, you're the first
Uh,
one to know everything. We're gonna be like
thank you.
live streaming everything at you. Everything we do, we're like, here you go.
Thank you. And Thank you everyone following the live. You can get this. You can watch this again on YouTube or Facebook. While on Instagram, it will go away as soon I stop the streaming. And thank you very much for following. Remember to follow Evil Dead Italia on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And have a good night. Goodbye.
Mille grazie mille.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.